Most experts are looking at the past to predict the future of AI. They're looking at tractors and steam engines, but they are wrong. We have hit a point where the timeline doesn't just move forward, it splits, and the side you end up on will determine the next 40 years of your life. For example, this article was written by AI. These images were created by AI. This code was generated by AI. And this video presenter could be created by AI. Today, tools like ChatGPT and Gemini can write essays, reports, and even computer programs in seconds. Image generators like Midjourney can create professional artwork from just a sentence. Developers now use Claude Code to generate code while they type. And platforms like Synthesia can produce full videos with AI presenters speaking multiple languages. In many cases, one person using AI tools can now do the work that previously required an entire team, which raises a massive question. What happens to jobs when machines can perform so many tasks humans used to do? No one knows for sure, but experts imagine three very different possibilities. Scenario 1, the .com evolution. AI becomes a powerful tool that reshapes roles rather than replacing them. Scenario 2, the economic boom. A world of explosive productivity where new industries appear and living standards skyrocket. Scenario 3, the Great Disruption. A troubling scenario where the pace of automation outruns our ability to create new work. Let's look at these three possibilities and the evidence for each one by one. If AI can already write articles, generate images, produce videos, and even write software code, the obvious question is, which jobs are actually at risk? Researchers at Anthropic analyzed millions of real interactions with their AI assistant Claude to see how people are using AI at work. They found that many white-collar jobs are highly exposed to AI, including computer programmers, customer service representatives, data entry clerks, medical record specialists, market research analysts. These roles involve writing, analyzing information, and managing digital data, tasks AI systems handle increasingly well. Physical jobs could also be affected in the future as humanoid robots such as Optimus become more capable. But today, the biggest disruption is happening in office work. And exposure to AI doesn't necessarily mean jobs disappear. More often, the nature of the job changes. History shows this has happened many times before. Every technological revolution has created the same fear. Machines will take our jobs. Consider agriculture. In the early 1800s, about 90% of workers in the United States were farmers. When tractors and mechanized harvesters arrived, millions of farm jobs disappeared. Today, less than 2% of Americans work in agriculture, yet the economy didn't collapse. Those workers moved into manufacturing, services, and technology. The same pattern appeared during the Industrial Revolution. Factories replaced manual labor with machines. Many workers believed this would destroy employment. Instead, entirely new industries emerged: railways, steel, automobiles, and mass manufacturing. Millions of new jobs followed. Then came the computer revolution. When computers entered offices in the 1970s and 1980s, many experts predicted massive unemployment among clerical workers. And some tasks did disappear. But computers also created entirely new professions: software engineers, IT specialists, and data analysts. Technology didn't eliminate work. It transformed it. So what might the future look like with AI? No one knows for sure, but experts often talk about a few possible paths. The first is a future where humans and AI work together. In this scenario, AI turns out to be powerful, but not truly revolutionary. It becomes another tool, like computers or the internet, that helps people do their jobs faster and more efficiently, while many roles evolve rather than disappear. As this happens, entirely new kinds of jobs could emerge. We might see roles like AI prompt engineers, AI trainers and data labelers, AI safety and ethics specialists, human-AI collaboration designers, and robotics maintenance engineers. People whose main job is to build, guide, and work alongside intelligent machines. We've seen something like this before. In the 1990s, during the internet revolution, many people believed the economy would grow exponentially and change overnight. But after the early hype and the dot-com bubble settled, the internet didn't destroy the economy, nor did it create runaway growth. Instead, it slowly reshaped it. Growth continued, but the way people worked, communicated, and built businesses changed forever. That's the first future, a world of steady, human-led progress. But there is a second possibility, one that doesn't just reshape the economy, but completely shatters the speed limits we've lived by for centuries. Think about the speed limit of the last century. For 100 years, the world's strongest economies have been stuck growing at 2 or 3% per year. Why? Because of something economists rarely talk about directly: the human bottleneck. In the old world, growth is tied to people. Humans take 20 years to grow up, years to train, and they need things like sleep and weekends. If you want to double your company's output, you have to find, hire, and train double the humans. It's slow, it's expensive, and it doesn't scale. But AI agents change the equation completely. They don't go to kindergarten. Once the technology exists, you don't hire millions of workers. You just deploy them instantly. For the first time in history, labor is no longer tied to biology. It's tied to silicon. Some Silicon Valley thinkers believe that by removing the human limit on labor, we could enter an age of abundance where working becomes optional. We're talking about a world that doubles its wealth every 3 to 4 years instead of every 30. If this happens, we aren't just looking at a new tool. We're looking at an entirely new phase of human civilization. It sounds like a utopia, doesn't it? A world where silicon does the heavy lifting and we reap the rewards. But there is a third path. And if I'm being honest, it's the one that keeps me up at night. History shows that technology usually creates more jobs than it destroys. We like to think history repeats itself, but there's a glitch in that logic. Past tech was a static tool. AI is a self-improving OS that updates itself 1,000 times before a human can even finish an orientation video. Which brings us into Scenario 3, the Great Disruption. In this scenario, the human bottleneck isn't just bypassed, it's broken. Unlike the tractors of the 1920s or the computers of the 1980s, AI isn't just a tool for a specific task. It doesn't just replace the horse, it eventually replaces the rider, the stable hand, and the cartographer all at once. The danger isn't that work disappears forever. The danger is velocity. If the Industrial Revolution took 100 years to shift farmers into factories, society had time to breathe. We had time to build schools, pass labor laws, and let a new generation grow up with new skills. But AI is moving at the speed of software. If 40% of white-collar tasks are automated in just 5 years, we aren't looking at a transition. We're looking at a collision. So what do we do? If you are watching this, you might feel like a spectator in a game you didn't sign up to play. But you aren't powerless. If Scenario 3 is our reality, the old advice of getting a degree and finding a career is officially dead. But there's a darker side to this disruption that we have to talk about: the Great Decoupling. In the past, when a company grew, it hired more people. Wealth was distributed through wages. But in a world where software replaces labor, that link snaps. If a company can generate billions in revenue with 1,000 AI agents and only 5 humans, where does all that money go? It goes to the owners of the capital, the owners of the algorithms. Scenario 3 isn't just about unemployment. It's about the greatest wealth divide in human history. We are heading toward a world split into 2 camps: the AI-Gentry, those who own the tools and reap the exponential rewards, and everyone else, left to compete for the shrinking pool of tasks machines can't do yet. The middle ground is disappearing. You are either a user of AI or you are being replaced by it. Which brings us to the most important question of your life. Which side of that divide are you going to be on? The old, safe career paths are now the most dangerous places to be. Stability is a 20th century luxury. Agility is now a 21st century necessity. So, how do you actually prepare? What are the specific human-only skills that will skyrocket in value while everything else hits zero? I'm filming a complete, deep dive guide on exactly that: the human playbook for the AI age. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it, because the machines are learning. The question is, are you